Claire had been working the graveyard shift at the 911 dispatch center for 7 years, and she thought she'd heard it all. The screaming car crash victims, the hoarse, frantic whispers of battered women hiding in closets, the chilling silence of open-line calls where no one answered but you just knew someone was listening on the other end. But this call, this was different. It came at 2:17 a.m. on a Wednesday. 911, what's your emergency? Claire's voice was steady, professional. A breathless, panicked whisper filled her ear. Help me! He's in the house. Claire straightened in her chair. The voice was young, female, terrified. Ma'am, can you tell me your address? The girl on the line sobbed, her breath shuddering. Please! He's coming up the stairs. The computer screen flickered as the system traced the call. The location appeared in glowing green text, and Claire felt her stomach drop. 76 Pinehurst Drive. That address. That couldn't be right. That house had burned down 15 years ago. She glanced over at Mike, the senior dispatcher on duty. He saw the look on her face and frowned. What is it? He mouthed. Claire hit the mute button on her headset. Pinehurst Drive, she whispered. Mike's face went pale. That place is gone. She turned back to her screen, her pulse picking up speed. Ma'am, stay on the line with me. I'm sending officers to your location. No, there's no time, the girl cried. The line went dead. A cold, creeping dread coiled around Claire's spine. She stared at the address again, the little green pin blinking mockingly on the map. She didn't call it in. She didn't know why. Maybe because she knew there was nothing to call in. That house was nothing but ashes and weeds now. No survivors. She convinced herself it was a glitch. A sick prank. Maybe some old phone line got crossed with the dispatch system. And for a while, she forgot about it. Until it happened again. The next night. Same time. Same voice. Help me. He's in the house. Claire's hands went cold on the keyboard. Who is he? She asked, voice steady despite the ice trickling into her veins. The girl sobbed. I don't know. I just woke up and he was inside. He's coming up the stairs. Ma'am, listen to me, Claire said, heart hammering. I need you to find a place to hide. But the girl didn't answer. Just a ragged, choking sound. Then silence. Claire checked the trace. 76 Pinehurst Drive. She unplugged her headset. She didn't sleep that night. The calls kept coming. Every night. Same time. Same voice. Claire told her supervisor, but Mike just gave her a grim look and said, "Forget it." I can't just ignore it, Mike. What if it's real? Mike sighed, rubbing his temples. That house burned down in 2009, Claire. A girl did live there. She was 17. Parents went out for dinner, came home to find the place engulfed in flames. They never found the daughter's body. Claire swallowed. Listen, Mike said, lowering his voice. Every few years, we get a call from that address. Always the same. A girl screaming for help, begging. We don't answer anymore. But what if? There's no one to save. Mike turned back to his desk. Conversation over. Claire went home that morning and sat in the dark, thinking about the girl. About the way her voice shook. The way she screamed. The way she sounded so real. Claire started answering the calls again. She knew she shouldn't. She knew she was risking her job. But she couldn't not. She tried to help. Told the girl to run. To break a window. To get out. It never worked. It always ended the same way. Silence. Until one night, the phone rang at 2:17 a.m. Claire answered, heartbeat heavy in her throat. "Help me!" The voice was different this time. Not the girl. It was her. Her own voice. Her blood turned to ice. "He's in the house," her voice whispered. The call cut out. Claire sat there, staring at her own reflection in the dark screen of the monitor. Her own voice. How? Her hands shook as she checked the trace. 76 Pinehurst Drive. No, that wasn't possible. She was here. She was safe. She turned, suddenly so sure that something was behind her. The office was empty, dark, quiet. Claire closed her eyes, trying to shake the feeling creeping up her spine. When she opened them, her computer screen had changed. Her reflection wasn't her own anymore. It was her. The girl. Burned skin. Empty eyes. Mouth open in a silent scream. The lights flickered. And then, a knock at the door. 3 slow, heavy taps. Claire's breath hitched. She turned toward the dispatch center's glass door. There was a figure standing in the hallway, just outside the glow of the emergency lights. Tall, wrong, waiting. Claire's screen flickered again. The trace was still active. The green pin still blinking. The call was coming from inside the dispatch center. The knocking came again, louder this time, and the voice on the phone whispered, "Let me in." The glass shattered, and Claire screamed. The next night, at exactly 2:17 a.m., a new dispatcher answered a call. "Help me! He's in the house." The trace came through. 76 Pinehurst Drive. And somewhere, deep in the static of the call, Claire's voice was whispering too.